Alright, let's take a look around town. The old 8332, pride of the LPD. The old Sonny Bonds. Displays your location at any time. Speed. The squad car's no-nonsense dashboard. The glove box of your squad car. Like most other cars, it doesn't hold gloves at all, but an assortment of little used and little needed paraphernalia. I can't grab it, that's terribly distressing. Heater vents. You sometimes use them when patrolling during the winter, but most of the time, they gather dust, mold, and fungus. I mean, that's not wrong. The mic for the squad car's transmitter. The squad car's radio transmitter. Can I turn on the radio? The manual frequency dial for the squad car's radio. Right, approaching a T-junction. It looks like we've chosen a direction automatically. The switch that turns on and off your siren. Your siren is currently on. The ignition. Squad car speedometer showing speed in kilometers and miles per hour. Really? One of these days you have to remember how far a kilometer is. I mean, I can do the math in one direction. A mile is 1.6 kilometers, but I can't do the other. Also, America switched to metric already. This music is great. If there's a stop sign or traffic light coming up at the intersection you're approaching, it'll be shown in this window. Yep. I just want to go back to the previous map and start looking around at the buildings. Blue room entrance. Up. Cherry. 8332, we have a report of an 1180 on Fig Street between 4th and 3rd. Please respond immediately. Repeat, 1180 Fig Street between 4th and 3rd. Do I need to respond by using my radio? Or do I just drive there? 1180, traffic collision with major injury. Does a bullet hole in the window and a bullet in the neck count as a major injury? We'll find out very shortly, I guess. Right, I've forgotten where that was, but it was on 4th and 3rd. I think I can find my way there. Let's see how we go. So we're on 10th at the moment. 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, 5, 4. So it's the first street on the next screen. I'm hoping it shows up on the map. Passing by 5th. Right. Not sure where the streets were. $83.32. Please respond immediately to 1180 Fig Street between 3rd and 4th. That's Peach. Between 3rd and 4th. Where is Fig? Okay, so it's here somewhere. Is it there? That kind of looks like a frigging... yeah. Fast food joints and other small shops. Okay, 4th and Fig, so it's here. It's where my icon is right now. And I've missed the intersection. Just got to drive around the block because we can't do a U-turn. Ooh, that's a hotel door for you. Yeah, I'll look around at this stuff later. Right now we have a traffic accident or a traffic collision with major injury to attend. Sonny? Turn, please. That's a stop sign. We just ran the stop sign. Let's try that again. Yes, I'm coming, Sherry. It's fine. I'm coming. Promise. Right, it's here somewhere. There we go. Pulling over. Oh, that looks terrible. All this stuff around here. Wow. Can I use my radio, first of all? Dispatch, this is 8332. My 1020 is near the corner of Fig and 4th. 8332, ours. I'm checking. A 1020 is location. That's basically just our way of saying we have arrived at the scene. Alright, let's have a look around. Flares? Some safety-conscious and well-equipped citizen has placed flares around the wreck. That citizen is sus as hell. Why would he have flares in your glove box? They're just fine the way they are. Skid marks lead up to the light pole. You wince. You can almost hear the screaming tires. This is normally a quiet street lined with small, quiet shops. Today, the normal course of events have been interrupted. Outside of the donut store, really? It's a donut shop. It's not your favourite. We've got many, but it does in a pinch. Jesus Christ. They'll do a good business this afternoon. Perhaps if you'd stop by the flower shop once in a while, you wouldn't be alone so much. Your dashing uniform just isn't enough, Bonds. And yet you're putting handcuffs on your bedposts. That makes no sense whatsoever. A cross-section of average Lyttonians is gathered here to gawk at the scene. One guy seems to be talking more than the others. Alright, what of the car? The force of the wreck has affected the entire car frame to the point of actually buckling the trunk lid. A quick glance inside indicates nothing out of the ordinary. No drugs. The door was compressed from the sudden impact. A closer glance reveals several slug holes just below the window. Here we go. The clean and completely rust-free surface indicates that this is freshly exposed. It would appear that the driver had outside assistance in executing this unorthodox parking technique. That's one way of saying that, I guess. Jesus. Light pole 1, vehicle 0. Many systems of the car which had previously been hidden from sight are now exposed and bleeding their own particular brand of vital fluid. Jesus, Sonny. I can't look at the window there. Steam rushes from the breached radiator. I really want to see the license plate. It says light pole 1. Where is it? Light pole 1, vehicle 0, but honestly, that light pole looks very messed up. Can I look at the person inside? Oh boy. That kind of looks like me when I was a little bit younger, chat. Just saying. Just without the bullet holes. There is a head injury as well as a small hole near the jaw. Both of them are slowly trickling blood. He doesn't appear to be breathing. Death. No matter how many times you see it, you never get used to it. He doesn't look any better. Wow. Jesus, this game's going all in. Can we touch his corpse? No pulse. No vital signs whatsoever. Your worst fear is confirmed. This guy just booked a one-drawer stainless steel suite at the Toe Tag Motel. Far out. There's nothing you can do for the car. It's dead, Bonds. Forget about opening it. They don't pay you to wrangle sharp, twisted metal unless life is at stake. In this case, it's too late for such efforts. Let's radio dispatch. Dispatch, this is 8332. The driver is 1144. We'll need a meat wagon. 8332 hours. Fucking hell. Dispatch copies. 8332. Sergeant Dooley is en route and will be in charge once he arrives. Dispatch hours. Is he bringing Hamilton? Alright. I would love to switch to the manual, but Dooley's going to turn up very quickly. 1144 means fatality, which I think we could figure out ourselves, but yeah. That's confirmation. Hello, Sonny. Lieutenant Hamilton is taking over the scene. You can go ahead and hit the streets. Not before I talk to this gentleman, though, and his dialogue moves fast. I'll try and do my best. Excuse me. Yeah, I saw the whole thing, officer. A young, lean, nervous fellow steps forward. Could you please tell me what you saw and heard? I've tried once, I'll try again. Okay, there was these bangs from the one other car, and there was a big crash, and cruds flying everywhere, and this car crashed while this other car is jamming out of here like a bat out of hell. And I... Whoa, whoa. Slow down. Take a breath. Now, start at the beginning. When did you first notice something out of the ordinary? And where were you? Okay, I'm just cruising along to my chick's place. I'm about a half block back up to the right there, okay? And I hear these cars coming up from behind, and then one gets louder. They pass me coming towards this direction, and get this, they're side by side. I'm just having a look for the relevant words. Half a block back up to the right. I don't know if we need to investigate that or not. Just writing that down. Half a block to the right. I don't think that's anything though. He goes on to tell you how the two cars were alongside each other when he heard what might have been two shots. There's more than two shots in the door. The car on the right swerved, colliding with the light pole. The other car fled the scene at a high rate of speed. Can you tell me anything about the other car? Yes. Could he describe the car? Did you happen to get the license plate number? Yeah, I saw part of it. I think it was... Oh, crap, what was it? Oh yeah, L964 was part of it. I've got that written down already. I don't know about the rest. The car was a silver Mercedes. I'm not sure about the year. It wasn't brand new, but not real old either. I couldn't see the dude driving. He was on the far side of the whole mess, and, you know, there was a lot happening at once. Understandable. Okay, so Mercedes, we heard that in the briefing. And L964? We heard that in the EGA version. That has not changed. Thanks for your cooperation. Could you wait around for a few minutes? Lieutenant Hamilton might have a few more questions for you. Thanks. Yeah, sure, man. Glad I could help. Alright, that was very amicable at the end there, Sonny. You've learned all you can from the witnesses. Dooley can handle any further interrogation. Yeah, Sonny's language as he's looking at the wreck is something, but speaking to the general public, that was, I think that was very reasonable. Careful, you don't want someone yelling, "Police brutality!" Oof. Speaking of, I haven't tried this yet. Listen, pal, frivolous use of your peace is grounds for termination, not to mention potential indictments. Alright, we can't shoot anyone here. Can I arrest someone? Your cuffs have a specific application. That's not one of them. Yeah, that's all very generic. I wonder if we'll actually get to shoot someone in this game. The vehicle's a mess. That's usually the case for cars that try to hug light poles. Not sure why I'm getting that message when I click over here. Try to look at Dooley's vehicle. It's Mr. Personality, Sergeant Dooley. You're certain he knows more than a little about the donut shop. So many donut jokes, damn. Sonny, you can get back out on patrol now. Sonny, you're trying my patience. Get your butt on patrol. Alright, fine. We're not going to see Hamilton. Alright, I would love to go back to the lower right-hand quadrant and start looking at the buildings. And I'm guessing due to the way that the map in the interface is structured that we're not going to see offenders on the map here. They're just going to like overtake us or do something terrible when they're right next to us, and that's going to be the prompt to turn on our siren and commence chasing. That's one way of getting through stop signs. Right. 8332. You've been requested to detour to Cafe and Carol's for an 11.98. Oh boy. I would just like to have a look around here first, please. If that's alright with you. Plus, you know I've actually got to find it. Can I use the gun inside the car? Wouldn't that be something? Cotton Cove, a small alternative park and annex to Burt's Park. No, I'm looking for... Yeah, there we go. Burt's Park, named for the kindly caretaker who maintained the park for over 45 years. The park was originally called, simply, Lytton City Park. It's still a beautiful, well-tended park, but it's been getting a bad reputation as unsafe, especially at night. A few stores of the mum and pop variety doing the best they can against the larger chain stores and mall stores. The Lytton Fire Department, overworked and underpaid, just like you. An office building filled with foreign-owned corporations. There's a lot of text here. Lytton's biggest and swankiest mall. If a foreign power ever wanted to wipe out Lytton with one fell swoop, they'd target this mall on any weekend. Chain restaurants, you eat at these places more than you like to admit, but we're no chef. A shabby and dangerous area kitty corner. What is a kitty corner? From the village green, mostly used by vagrants and pushers who conduct business under the highway. Some of Lytton's best maintained and oldest shops and stores, the PD. Some of Lytton's older office buildings, offices and stores. The Wilson Arms, high security apartments for the conspicuous consumer. The Sandberg Villa apartment complex, catering to yuppies and upwardly mobile double income no kids couples. One of the new industrial parks. Stores, shops and restaurants that cater to the business surrounding them. Lots of business people, conventioneers and lawyers. The courthouse. The jail. Okay, so the courthouse, the jail and the police station are all near each other. Makes sense. And Cotton Cove is there. Let's turn left. Thank you, game. I need to find Cafe and Carol's. Yeah, I can't use the radio, so I assume dispatch contacting us is just a thing and we can't reply. The Lytton Fire Department, yep, we saw that, saw that, saw that, saw that, saw that. I see the stop sign. 15 miles per hour. What else have we got here? Lytton Retirement Village. It's been cited a few times for health code violations, but from what you hear, it's better than 90% of the other retirement homes. Oof. The Blue Room, a favourite cops hangout. Blue Room is there, good to know. A small shopping centre with an adults bookstore and a rent-to-own place. A little park with a playground for the kiddies, though there are some unsavoury goings-on under the highway pillars. Nanotech office complex. You hate to think what they're concocting up there. The Lytton Community College's football stadium and something. Natatorium? Don't know what that word is. As with many towns, there's more pride in Lytton's football scores than in its academic scores. Makes sense. The main buildings of Lytton Community College, a non-residential school. Cafe and Carol's, there it is, one of your hangouts. Next door is Wino Willie's, one of the more revolting biker bars. The Dooley Apartments, no relation. The Deeming apartment complex, older and shabbier than the apartments next block over, yet with far more personality. Stores and automotive repair shops. The Lytton Waldorf Hilltown, the classiest hotel for miles around. Not the Delphoria, really? Convenience stores, restaurants, and deluxe parking under the highway. Dog Park, a nice little place if you watch your step. Cheers. Lytton General Hospital. You wonder why they couldn't come up with a more original name. Oof. On and off ramps for Highway 41. Can I get on the highway? Not yet. Glass and chrome office buildings, the type that reflect the glare of the sun in your eyes when you're driving on the highway. Love it. Alright, let's turn right here. Actually, I should have gone straight and then left. Alright, so I should have gone up there and then left so I can get into the next map. I'm going to have to turn up or down here. Left or right, whatever. That is Cafe and Carol's. Sonny, don't forget that 1198 with Keith at Carol's. Just thought I'd remind you. Out. This is an emergency. A bit too fast at the intersection there, it's forcing me to go left. Let's turn right here. Alright, what have we got? Despite Lytton's growing inner city areas, some of these outlying blocks are still used for farming. Excuse me? We have farms out here. Wow. Lytton's flagging agribusiness still exists on blocks like these. Some of Lytton's nicer private residences skirting the border between the agricultural zones and business zones. That's the Delphoria. The tacky Hotel Delphoria. Wow. I thought it looked pretty swank in the first game, but we're actually describing it as tacky. A few condos. The main buildings, yep, we've seen that, or have we? The main buildings of Lytton Community College, a non-residential school. A few of the trendier stores. Fast food joints and other small shops. A small country club. The Richmond Centre, a small museum and performing arts playhouse set in a pleasant little park. You've never been there on an unofficial basis. The common wisdom is that you have to be a rich man to afford a ticket. Oof. Lytton's hotly debated nuclear power plant. Why is it in the middle of town there? You tend not to think about its presence, yet you know from your own experience with public utilities that what's touted as 100% safe is never anything of the sort. The Lytton Public Library. It's been years since you've actually taken anything out there. Still, you'd miss it if it wasn't there. Ain't that the truth? Stores and boutiques. More farmland. Why is there farmland here? Really? Every few years, they grow cabbage here, much to the dismay of everyone living or working within several blocks. This year, you've been spared. Potatoes. A parking lot, often filled to overflowing on game days at the stadium. That stadium or another one below us? We'll find out in a sec. A field, lying fallow this year. A mini mall of shops and restaurants. Stores and restaurants. Alright. So there's not much here apart from a large park. The Hotel Del Foria is there, that's important. Alright, what have we here? No stadium. It must have been referring to the college stadium, clearly. An area of fancy, trendy little boutiques, expensive little townhouses. What are those 20 buck a night motels? You've been called there many times. The security at these places is non-existent. Lots of assaults, burglaries, and even rapes. Oof. A lot that was apparently used for farming at one time. It doesn't do very well underneath Highway 41 though. Does that imply that the highway was built afterwards? Part of the Lytton village green in the centre of town. It's a nice, peaceful, lightly wooded area with a stream, and its proximity to the police station keeps it relatively safe. The south end of Lytton's village green. Business people from the surrounding blocks often eat lunch out here, and at night it's largely deserted. You've seen those. The Lytton Convention Centre. It's usually vacant, since Lytton hasn't been able to attract much convention business. Dang. One of the agribusinesses in the industrial park to the northeast owns and maintains greenhouses here. One of Lytton's newer office buildings. It's hoped that an influx of business will help the area pick up a bit. Probably not happening. A grassy vacant lot. Not a very safe place to hang out. A gas station and mini-mart catering to highway traffic. A pumping station. Ramps on and off Highway 41 can be found there. A mini mall. A few stores, particularly those that cater to highway travellers. Alright, so just looking through here, apart from the park, the village green, I don't see any, I'll call them named areas. We've got the Hotel Del Foria above us, and maybe another park. We have a park down here. On the right, we have the police station, the courthouse, and the jail. And in the top right-hand corner, I think the only thing of note is Carol's Cafe and Castle. Alright, let's go attend this meeting. Let's go do what guys do at the coffee shop. I'll try getting onto the highway another time, I think. The reality is I don't think there is anything... Oh god, we're dead. You dead. You specifically, chat, not me. I'll meet you there. Okay, hopefully this works. It's just coming up on our left here. I don't know whether we need to manually stop or whether Sonny will actually... Oh, there's the problem. There's the problem right there. Alright, we'll go around the block and we'll turn in. Yep, I'm very, very certain, Cherie. I just need to figure out how to actually enter the place. I guess the issue is by the time we see those arrows, it's already way too late. It's way too late to make a turn. The interface works very well with respect to pre-inputting your movements, but if you're not actually aware of where you're going, yeah, it's not going to work. Alright, let's turn left. Just going to make another save here, just in case I messed that up again. Carol's entrance, there we go. Damn, look at Wino Willie's down there. That looks so dingy. Got Cafe and Carol's castle here. I don't know if the word castle is relevant or not, so I should probably stop saying that. And Wino Willie's, instead of being right next to us, is sort of hidden down there in an alley. Oh boy. It's one of the many fine taxpayer-supplied sidewalks used to patrol on foot. A perfectly ordinary stretch of Oak Street. That looks like Steve's patrol car, but Steve is nowhere to be seen. He's probably inside. The beige brick building is the Lytton Savings and Loan. Recently closed. It's part of the reason that this section of town has been headed downhill. The filthy, dimly lit alley leads to an appropriately filthy, dimly lit dive called Wino Willie's. The sign advertises Wino Willie's, the scuzziest bar in town. Scuzziest? Interesting adjective. And here is Cafe and Carol's. This is the front of Cafe and Carol's, the coffee depot of choice for the patrol officers of the Lytton PD, and for much of Lytton. Popular place. The sign strongly suggests that this might be Cafe and Carol's. It's the stained glass window of Cafe and Carol's. Nicotine, tar, and fryer grease stained, that is. Right, so similar to the one in the original game, it's more than just coffee. It's a welcome mat. Carol is always glad to see a paying customer. That's the door to Cafe and Carol's. It's your aging departmental issue patrol car. Alright, I just clicked the hand icon and that got me out of the car. Is there something there? It looks like there's a little, like, I don't know, a 10-cent coin on the street or something. Please translate that currency into your local language. Yeah, let's take a look inside. We'll try breaking into Steve's car later, perhaps. That floor, I do not approve. Nice pattern. This isn't the kind of thing anyone would ever like to see when drunk. It's a little nauseating even when you're sober. Yeah, that's actually giving me a headache to look at. The patronage is comprised of people with either very little money or very little taste. That must include us as police officers, clearly. It's your pal, Steve. Steve's an okay looking guy, as far as guys go. He's pretty busy these days, judging by all the subpoenas in his pigeonhole. We saw those for sure. It's one of the vintage 1950 booths Carol is so proud of. The food stuck between the seats is vintage 1950s too. Ugh. Beyond the grimy window of Carol's is the grimy street. Oak Street. It's the door to Cafe and Carol's bathroom. There used to be a sign on the door saying Carol's Throne Room, but Carol was ribbed about it one too many times. Seems appropriate. It's a light switch. I'm getting close to look at the telephone. It's an LT&T payphone. LT&T was in the first game as well. I imagine we're going to get a phone call on that thing very shortly. The large menu board lists some of the greasiest dishes in town. You can feel your arteries seizing up just looking at them. That's the kitchen, where most of Lytton's outrageous culinary crimes and atrocities are committed. Carol is a veteran coffee dispenser. Working for others at first, she scrimped and saved her tips until she could afford a place of her own. Stumped for a name for a little cafe, she finally settled on Carol's. That was 20-something years ago, she would tell you. 40-something would probably be more accurate, however. This is your usual caffeine ingesting spot. These vinyl stalls have cradled many a gluteus maximus in their time. Anything else I could look at? The bench. No. How's your day going, sir? Pardon me, may I ask you something? The patron mumbles something unintelligible, probably because of the mouthful of food currently being masticated. Sorry for bothering you. So you should be something that's completely unnecessary. Can we shoot you? No. Can we have a chat to Carol? Oh, honey, I'd love to talk, but I've got a couple orders up. Is everything okay? Good. Boy, my poodles are really barking today. I've got to soak these things in some Epsom salt soon. Catch you later, Sonny. Your poodles? Your feet? Is that like a Cockney rhyming slang thing? Steve, how are you doing? Would you like to discuss the weather? Hi, buddy. Glad you can make it. So what's up? How's your shift going? Not too bad. We've only seen just one murdered person so far. How's my shift going? Well, other than going to the scene of a car wreck and finding a dead guy, probably a 377, my shift's going okay. How's yours? .377, of course, being murder. No way! You found a murder victim? How did you know he was murdered? If we're saying this, not to be too sarcastic here, but if we're saying we found a murder victim, it's usually pretty obvious. Exactly. Bullet hole in the middle of his forehead. Little clues like that. No way. That's bizarre, Sonny. Are they going to let you work on the case? I don't think so. That was Hamilton's job. No, I don't think so. Hamilton had it covered. I kind of hope they keep me updated though. Yeah, hopefully we do learn that his name is Lonnie West. At minimum. Hamilton's a good guy. Cool as ice. I've seen him on the scene of a homicide that could have, been right out of a horror movie. Just collecting information and evidence like it was nothing. That's our job, is it not? I was this close to barfing. And Sam, remember Sam? Sam was losing his lunch on the pavement. Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that. Well, I was pretty cool, you know. Sonny, you're getting a big head. I don't like it. That newspaper article is getting to you. Oh yeah? I find that hard to believe, Bonds. You used to lose it during training films. Okay, Steve seems like a decent bloke in the remake. Right, Johnson. Not in your lifetime. Okay, I almost did. Okay, the only reason I didn't is because I skipped breakfast. Happy now? Is his name Steve Johnson, or is Johnson a saying in America? Not sure. That, I believe. Lordy, couldn't you boys discuss something a little less disgusting? You're going to scare off my customers. Here's your coffee. You want any pie? Yeah, I'm definitely not going to try the voices today because I had enough fun with that during Police Ghost 1 EGA. I couldn't keep it consistent, especially with one female character, and the dialogues are moving by themselves, so I'm not going to take the risk. No thanks, Carol. For some reason, I'm not real hungry right now. Something about a 377? Okay, you boys have a good break now. Thanks, Carol. It isn't us scaring off her customers, it's this liquid fertilizer she serves as coffee. You're drinking it, dude. So anyway, did you get an ID on the guy? No, not yet. I hope they tell me when they do. So how's your girlfriend? Are we allowed to ask that? I hope so. She's okay. She's given up karate to work on her tan. I can't say I disapprove. Oof. I'm not touching that. That's good to know. She was dangerous enough to start with, Steve. Men. Hey, watch it, Bonds. Just because you don't know anything about women. Maybe you should offer a class, Steve. I'm sure everyone is dying to hear the secrets of your success. Smartass. At least I have a girlfriend. I don't have to make phone calls to 1-900 numbers. Oof. I'm reminded of what Sonny said about the handcuffs. I don't like it. Dream on, Johnson. I've never called one of those numbers. Okay, so his name's Steve Johnson, clearly. Those handcuffs, though. Hey, listen, Sonny, I didn't mean... Got my computer and narcotics. What do I need with women when I've got a computer? Are we allowed to use that? Jesus. Jesus. I always wondered why the light was on in the narcotics office after hours. Okay, while we're playing Truth or Dare, admit it. You're the gremlin, right? I don't think so. I would hope not. Nope. Too afraid to click right now. There's the phone. Sonny, you got a phone call over here. How do they even know? Yeah, okay. Dispatch knows where we are, so that makes sense. Thanks, Carol. I'll be right back, Steve. Alright, let's take this call. Can I shoot the phone? The game doesn't want me to have fun. Hello, this is Officer Sonny Bonds. Officer Bonds, this is Lieutenant Hamilton. I have an ID on that 1144. He was a low-level drug dealer named Lonnie West. Just as we suspected, he was killed by a bullet to the brain. I thought you'd be interested to find out. If you hear anything that might be pertinent, let me know immediately. Yes, sir, I will. And thank you, Lieutenant Hamilton. I appreciate your passing that information along. You're welcome, Bonds. Fine work this afternoon, by the way. Remember, keep your eyes open. Goodbye. Goodbye, sir. Let's go drink our coffee. Or sit down here again and resume this conversation. This is a lot more involved than just talking about the weather. What was that all about? You should be able to tell, dude. Lieutenant Hamilton got the ID on the car wreck victim. He was a small-time dope dealer named Lonnie West. And they also determined the cause of death was the bullet wound in the forehead. What a surprise. I'd have thought it was Carol's coffee. You're morbid, Steve. And rude. We're right here. She's like off the screen here, just to the right. I calls them as I sees them, Bonds. Well, we better split, huh? And don't forget Jack's party tonight at the Blue Room, sonny boy. If only I could forget that. Yeah, let's go, Johnson. Time to save the world. See you tonight. Steve isn't a physical kind of guy. He's looking pretty cranky right now too. Trying to drink his coffee. Don't handle the patrons unless Carol asks for help. In your high school days, you'd have been tempted to steal something like a menu board and display it in your room. Why? You're over that now. Try sitting on the stool, Bonds. Carol wouldn't appreciate you sitting on her counter. It's Carol's job to grab the platters of food. There's no one you need to call right now, officer. Even though the whole place would probably look better in the dark, you resist the urge. Very cute. Don't touch the window. If you do, you'll end up needing to wash your hands. That is literally what I'm about to try doing. Carol's bathroom brings to mind that old adage, fools rush in where angels fear to tread. Right, we cannot urinate in the bathroom today. That's just not going to happen. It's being used. Besides, you have better things to do. Alright, I think we're actually done in here. We've had our meeting, a very productive meeting. We learned the identity of the person who died, the 377 victim, Lonnie West. 1144 was mentioned, which is a fatality. Yeah, let's just go. Let's get back on the beat. Right, I suppose we can walk off this way. I'm a little bit confused about the mention of the computer. I mean, obviously the implication there is that Sonny's been looking up some extracurricular material after hours, but I didn't think Sonny would be allowed to use that because we are not a narcotics officer.